Last night I went to go see the new Wicked for Good movie, get my honest opinion about it. So overall, I think I'm going to end up giving the movie a 3.5 out of 5 stars. This was still a very good film. Starting from the very top, the acting in the movie was very good. The connection between the two witches was incredible. You could definitely tell that they were best friends. They were willing to do everything for each other. And it was a very good representation of that. And also the second half of the movie, I actually really enjoyed. It seems like that's a very unpopular opinion, but I do feel like there was a lot of twists. There was a lot of turns. There's a lot of action going on. So I did feel like the second half of the movie was very good. However, there were just a few things that were holding it back for me. Starting off with the soundtrack. The soundtrack itself, I felt like wasn't nearly as good as the first movie. In the first movie, I couldn't get that damn Popular song or Defying Gravity song out of my head for weeks. But now, I watched this movie last night, and I don't know if I could name one song out of it. It just was not nearly as catchy as the soundtrack from the first movie, so that definitely did lower it a little bit for me. The next thing is I felt like there was a lot of plot armor. I felt like there was multiple situations where both Glinda and Elphaba both were about to stand up for themselves or potentially stand up for the other person, and unfortunately, there's always just magically something that gets in the way to save that from happening, to prove that Elphaba is there for a good reason, as well as Glinda is trying to be there for Elphaba and be there for her friend. Just a really weird dynamic. Wasn't a huge fan of that either. And lastly, this is going to get a little bit deep, but I really didn't like the ending. And what I mean by the ending is more so the part where we watch Dorothy pour the water on Elphaba. It ended up taking her out and so on and so forth. To know that all of that is fake is incredibly disheartening to me, just because I've been watching the Wizard of Oz for a very long period of time. I am brand new to the Wicked scene. I didn't know the backstory of the Wizard of Oz, but I had watched the Wizard of Oz, and now knowing that all of that is fake and Elphaba is actually alive just really doesn't sit right for me. And I feel like if I ever go back and watch the Wizard of Oz again, my vision of the Wizard of Oz is going to be changed. And so I don't mind a little bit of a cliffhanger with that. But when you're going in, changing a movie from 1930 in the way that the actual ending happens, I'm just not a huge fan of that. So overall, still a good movie. 3.5 out of 5 stars is still very solid. I did like it. It just definitely wasn't nearly as good as the first one.